28.
28.
28 piccolos.
30.
30 clarinets.
31.
31.
31 trumpets.
22.
22.
22 mellophones.
11 baritones.
23.
23. 23 alto saxes. 12.
12 tenor saxes.
27.
27 drummers.
2 majorettes.
11 trombones.
4
4.
drum majors.
13. 13 tubas.
16. 16 color guard.
This
This.
is the pride of the ACC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Pride of the ACC. My name is Adam Pohl, joined once again by the director of University Bands, Jeff Fuchs. And Jeff, this was a week in which you guys, we are talking to your students the way we're talking today, right? We're living in a virtual Zoom world, and that was kind of the start of your interactions with the band this week, correct?
Yeah, we started full-time remote with our kids this week, and this is the first time we've done it with the marching band. Last spring, when things went remote, we had already pretty much completed our semester's work with the students. So this is the new one for us, but it's been going well. The Guard is meeting on Tuesday nights, and it's kind of cool what they're doing. They're giving them an assignment on Tuesday nights, both some body work and some guard work, and then the members of the Guard have until Sunday to upload the material, videos of them doing the material, and upload it. And then Tuesday night they kind of go over that and introduce the next new batch of material. The drumline is getting together on Tuesdays and Thursdays right now, and after some stretching and warm-ups, they're learning a school song a night, so that as we go into next year, at least the stuff that we do every year, the students have learned and it's in their hands, so that they'll be prepared to move on when we come back in the spring or when we come back in the fall, whenever that may be. So yeah, a lot of time behind the computer.
And there's another aspect in which the students are keeping the Marching Tar Heels involved, and that is with Minecraft. Now I heard about Minecraft a few years ago, and that everybody was really into this, and I had no idea what it was. So tell us a little bit about what Minecraft is and what the students are doing.
Yeah, Minecraft is an online game that you can play either by yourself or with other groups of people. And it's basically building communities and villages and whatnot. And we've had 4 students in the band who created a Marching Tar Heels Minecraft server. So when you log into the game, you're dumped into the middle of Kenan Stadium, and your goal is then to go and gather things and prizes and other pieces to where you can build out your little community, whether it be Carmichael Arena or the indoor practice facility or the Smith Center or Kenan Music Building. And it's open to anybody who has the Minecraft game. I think it's a one-time $26.95 investment. I've put information on the UNC Bands Alumni Facebook page if anybody wants to play. And it's I don't know much about it either. There weren't video games when I was coming along. We had
You didn't have the old Atari?
We had some Atari now, and that was about what we had. But yeah, the kids were really excited when we asked them about band camp, and this was one of the things they wanted to do. And they can have section challenges, individual challenges, and we had a group of 4 students build the game literally. and build Keenan Stadium and all this. So the kids are excited about it. I hope some alums will get into it, and it'll just be one more way to keep the kids engaged as we go through the semester.
I love it. I love it. In our program today, we're going to feature our Mellophone section, our alumni. You know, we've been reaching back, way back in the portal for alums in past weeks. But we're going to talk to one of our more recent alumni, a class of 2016 in Meagan Barger, and we're going to have a performance from the majorettes as well. But we got to see earlier in our programs prior a look at some work from our color guard, and we're going to feature one of our staff members that really runs the color guard in Katelyn McIntosh.
Yeah, Katelyn's a great young lady. She is a product of Josh Potter's band. Josh was an alum of the program, and Josh taught at Wakefield High School, and so she was in his program there. And she marched with us only 1 year at Carolina, but gosh, she was an impressive young lady even then. And you know, Adam, as students come through the program, they leave impressions, and you make notes of students who you might want to call upon in the future to do things, or whether it's short term or long term. And Katelyn was one of those kids that I identified that, you know, if we ever need a guard instructor, Katelyn's one of those I got to keep my eye on. So lo and behold, we did have an opening in that position, and I contacted her, and I'm so pleased that she's been with us now on our staff, and she does a great job, relates well with the kids, and it's just a great pleasure to see her every Tuesday and Thursday night. And I think y'all will enjoy meeting her tonight.
I got into it actually through someone I was dating at the time, ironically enough. But I kind of took a break from marching band after high school because it was very competitive and structured and regimented, and I just wanted to try other things when I got to school. So I ended up joining a women's glee club and a service group and a sorority. But when I got in as a senior to the Marching Tar Heels, it was totally different than the high school band experience, which I ended up loving. I was a huge Carolina sports fan anyway. I went to all the home football games, and being a part of the band just exemplified that game day experience even more. One thing we try to establish at band camp is we're here to have fun. We're going to change the show up every couple weeks with halftime. We're going to just be a group that can share spinning together and that passion for performance together. And so I try to keep it fun and light at rehearsals. You know, at the end of the day, it's marching band. It's not an exam. So we want it to be something entertaining for them and for the crowd. So I say we want to have fun, but we also want to look good. So working with UNC Marching Band was actually my first experience teaching a color guard ensemble, let alone writing my own choreography. So it was a bit challenging at first, but I learned what the students respond well to. So for example, if we're playing a pop tune and it's a verse, chorus, verse, I'm going to repeat the same choreography during those verses. So they don't have to learn quite as much material, since we don't have the luxury of having sheet music in front of us. We have to memorize everything. So as I got into it more, I learned repetition is key, having like A and B sections, and just what the kids respond best to. Trying to keep it fresh and engaging so it's upbeat and fun for them. I am an environmental scientist for an engineering and consulting firm in Durham. What my team specializes is in air quality and environmental compliance. So there's all these EPA and state environmental regulations that manufacturers and the government, military even, has to adhere to. So what my company does is help them interpret all those regulations and assist them with any reporting or permitting or like on-site auditing compliance work that they need done. So I get to travel a little bit, do some work at the office, but it's been a pretty cool gig. Because of COVID and all of the social separation that we've had, it meant even that much more to bring these kids together. And even the instructors, we're in the same boat. We missed being around young people. We missed being around the activity, and being able to see them grow even in that short amount of time and making those connections and getting excited when they heard Cadence play, it was even more meaningful this year. And I think it will continue to have that level of passion and connection moving forward after we've been through this point where we didn't have the opportunity to be together for a long time. I think it will be a huge celebration when we can all get back together for many reasons, like you said, just being close to people, connection, and then also that crowd. I think you mentioned this on one of your other episodes, where performing in front of a full stadium is a feeling you'll never forget after the first time. So especially once they get that crowd feedback and admiration for what they're doing, it's going to be special.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome back here to the Pride of the ACC. Well, this week we're going to feature our Mellophone section, and Jeff, I like to think back to some of the things and the great traditions. I mean, there's so many things about the Carolina Marching Band and the Marching Tar Heels that when you really think back to it, you didn't know about it getting into it. And one of the things that I love about the Mellophones is their part in my age, in my era, what was called the warm-up chorale, but has a different name now that you guys really feature at Tar Heel Town.
Yeah, Adam, that was Josh Potter and Ryan Ripperton were both student assistants with us one year, and they came to me and asked if they could write a piece for the band, a chorale type thing for the band, and they did the music, and Brian Miller wrote the lyrics to it, and they titled it "The Blue and the White," and we decided to use it as our warm-up chorale to see if it would take hold. And we still play it at the beginning of every rehearsal today. I want to say they did it in 95 or 96, but it's still part of every single time the band comes together. That is the end of our gathering exercise, and that's when we start our activity as a band and leave our individual activities aside, whether it's game day or just another practice day. And yeah, you're right. That's the day everybody wants to be a mellophone player, because they have an amazing line and they just soar out above the rest, and which fits with their personality too. It's oddly enough,
Yes.
they stand out in a crowd, whether it's musically or personality wise.
If I may make a personal note, it's hard to believe my freshman year, Ryan Ripperton was a senior, and they called me Baby Ripperton, like I was a little mini Ryan Ripperton, but he still has all his hair. As you can tell, I have not won that battle. And he's aging like fine wine. But going back to the Mellophones, I know this year's section is a special one, and we're excited to feature them tonight.
Hi guys, my name is Mary. I'm a senior at UNC this year, and I'm studying biology and chemistry. I am from Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm very proud to say that this year I am one of the Mellophone section captains. Outside of band and the classroom, I am a UNC Hospitals volunteer and also a swim coach and swim lessons instructor.
My name is Haley Murdoch, and I am also a Mellophone section captain. I'm a senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm majoring in psychology with minors in speech and hearing sciences and music. While band is one of my favorite parts about being a student at UNC, I also really enjoy working as a tour guide for undergraduate admissions and doing research with the Department of Speech and Hearing Sciences.
Hi everyone, my name is Evie Grimsley, and I'm very excited to be one of the Mellophone section captains this year. I'm currently a senior, majoring in sociology and minoring in both music and the study of Christianity and culture. Outside of marching band, I have been involved in things like UNC Summit College, peer tutoring with the UNC Learning Center, and community government. This year, I'm also taking on a new role as one of the resident advisors in Craig community. I can honestly say that being part of the Marching Tar Heels has been one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had. The Mellophone section is 22 members strong this year, with 6 seniors, 7 juniors, 4 sophomores, and 5 first years. We are all pursuing majors that cover many areas of study, from biology to business to public policy. While many of the Mellows are from North Carolina, some of our members are also from Mississippi, Illinois, and Florida. As a whole, the Mellows participate in many other organizations, including student government, research, hospital volunteering, admissions ambassadors, concert ensembles, work study, and much, much more. Despite our many unique interests and backgrounds, the Mellophone section has always felt like a family to me, and I think the rest of the section could say the exact same thing.
The Mellophones pride ourselves in our many fun traditions. We're known throughout the band for wearing party hats to rehearsal for each Mellow's birthday, doing our Mellow dance that matches perfectly with any song, and painting up for the Duke game together each year, and of course finding as many acronyms to spell as possible.
As any MTH Mellophone, past or present, can tell you, we are an extremely tightly knit group of people. So some of our best memories happen when we are all together. Whether it be painting up for the Duke basketball game, going to pep band events around campus to support other sports teams, or when we got to travel with the football team to DC and meet the Temple Band Mellophones, we are always making awesome memories together in uniform. But we can also get down when we're not in uniform, like our legendary cookout runs late at night, going to the band banquet at the end of each season and dressing in our best clothes to go crazy on some catered food, or when we got to play in a drum circle with Matt Savage during band camp. We are always making super great memories all together.
All right, folks, it's time to take a look back at one of our alums. We've had really a great list of alumni in our first 3 shows. And I'm excited, Jeff, about the fact that this week we are featuring somebody that is really a recent grad in Meagan Barger. And I know that she was really a special player in the Marching Tar Heels in her 4 years in your group, graduating in 2016.
From the first day Meagan joined the band, she was another one that it was obvious she was going to be special to the program. And just her personality and the way she carried herself. And, it was hard to remember that she was only a first-year student that first season she was with us. And, I'm not sure that she ever was in an official leadership capacity with us, but I think she's probably one of the strongest leaders that we've had in the program, certainly during her time there. She was one that I leaned on heavily to make sure I knew kind of the vibe of the band, which way it was going. And if I needed something to happen organically, I would plant that seed with Meagan and she could make it happen. The kids respected her. And she just had a way about her. And, we talk all the time with the kids that, those who are given leadership positions through the process are one thing, but really everybody in the band has to be a leader. And Meagan really brought that to life for us.
Jeff, are you surprised that she's now a teacher?
Oh, not at all. I tell you what, if I had a child in school, I would love Meagan Barger to be my child's teacher, because not only is I'm sure she's a good teacher, more importantly, I would want my child around a person like that every day, because we learn from our teachers in a lot of different ways. And Meagan would offer the academic, but gosh, if they turned out like Meagan, we would be very proud parents.
Well, that's a great setup. Let's take a look here and catch up with Meagan Barger.
I started teaching at South Charlotte Middle School, where I taught 8th grade math. It's actually the same middle school that I went to, which was a really cool experience. And then since then, this year, I've made the switch to high school. I'm teaching freshman math and sophomore math this year. It's been a really great transition as far as which I like better between middle school and high school. I've been asked that a lot, and I can't really decide because comparing the past 4 years of teaching to this year is almost impossible. It's a completely new experience this year. I can be myself in front of people very easily. And that helped me a lot. In marching band, I feel like a space was kind of created for me to be able to help lead the band in doing different dance movements and teaching them different cadences and a Beyonce dance and all kinds of things like that. And I do think that that has spilled over into teaching as well, where I am fun and completely myself in front of my students all the time. I sing to them the most annoying songs, and I think it definitely does connect. I did grow up in Charlotte, but did not really have an opinion about UNC, Duke, any state schools really. And when I visited the campus of UNC, I fell in love with it. I knew that was the place for me. I did want to be part of the marching band wherever I went. It was a great experience in high school, and I knew that marching band was just always filled with people that I loved. Just for whatever reason, the personality of the people who were there were going to be my people. And so I couldn't imagine going to college and not joining marching band. I needed to find my people, and it seemed like the perfect way. One of my favorite memories is actually the day that I moved in as a freshman, when some of my still very best friends, specifically John-Luc Rivera, Kirsten Ballard, Peter Carter, came to my room, and they stuck a little door decoration, and they were like, hey, and they became tight friends that I still am in constant contact with today. And they're really my people. And I was right to believe the marching band would be where I would find my people. My favorite moment to look back on, it's kind of funny, but I did get the chance. We were supposed to do, during a diva show, we were going to do the Beyonce single ladies dance. And Mr. Fuchs tasked me with learning the dance and teaching it. And he was like, maybe like 8, 16 counts. And I learned a lot more than 8 or 16 counts. And I was like, I'm going to teach it. We're going to see how this goes. So I'm on the loudspeaker in the indoor stadium, and I'm teaching the Beyonce single ladies dance, and it gets to a point where she smacks her butt 4 times, and I'm in the loudspeaker. I'm like, okay, everyone, now smack your butt 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And everyone's just staring at me like, what are we doing? And I turned around, I was like, you're gonna be in a uniform? No one will know which one is you. Smack your butt 4 times. And we just continue moving forward. But I love just thinking about that, and just kind of in that moment kind of being like, what am I doing? But also having so much fun doing that, and the reward of getting to perform. I've always loved performances, and yeah, it was great. For me, it's cadence in the pit before a football game. I love, particularly when you eat your food, you put your uniform back on, you run to go get your spot. It's kind of cool outside, and you hear the drum beats come in, and you know the cadence is happening. It's fun. You know, the people who are in the audience are typically there because they want to see the marching band. They know that a lot of them can dance cadence with you. But it's that excitement before the game starts, and doing that with your people all around you. I feel like I've always expressed myself in several different ways. I grew up dancing. I grew up doing band, doing a lot of just writing. I love creative writing. I've always been a generally expressive person, and I've always kind of felt like it's going to come out, whether I'm teaching math or I'm playing music, like whatever it is. It's always just kind of found its way out. But I think that music was a really good avenue for me, for sure. The people, the experiences, the number of hours you put in, the number of hard hours, the number of fun hours, the band trips, it adds up to be a lasting friendship that you don't ever really move past, I don't think. I know I'm only going on 5 years out of college, so it hasn't been as much time as some people that have been interviewed on this show so far, but they're friendships that I cannot imagine doing life without, and I know they're going to be there for the rest of my life.
That was a great look back at one of our alums in Meagan Barger, and now we're going to focus on a performance. And it's great that we still do, Jeff, have a few performances in the can from early on this year. And one aspect of the Marching Tar Heels, everybody, you know, the majority of members of the band obviously play an instrument, but a few that do something different are our majorettes. It's really an incredible skill that not many people think of when they think of the marching band, but in the same way, there's such an important piece, especially when you're watching a halftime show on the field.
Yeah, Adam, you're right. They add something they add one more element to entertain the crowd that we can use. And especially in our situation where we have people on four sides of us, it's hard for us to put something, but by the time we have the sound makers, as I'll call them, we can take care of one side. We've got the guard that's very visible from whatever side they're on. And then we have the majorettes that we can take and put down, whether it's in the end zone in front of the students who otherwise wouldn't have much to look at, but we can use them as another visual element and they can do some pretty spectacular things, whether it's twirling fire or, throwing the batons way in the air and catching them, which, I would break my nose or something trying to catch it. And, and the other thing with them is that we've been very fortunate to have these two young ladies for 4 years. It's not something that you're guaranteed to have every year. You're guaranteed always to have the trumpets and the clarinets and the drums come through. But the majorettes are something that we went a long time without having any. And then Sierra Gillis and Ava Smith, oddly enough, came to us in the same summer. And they've been with us 4 years. This is their senior year. But they're very talented young ladies. And again, more importantly to me, they're just great people. They're great human beings.
And Jeff, overall in this show, we want to highlight all of our students. But if you notice, we've been focusing when we talk to our different sections at our senior leaders in the band. And it's great to highlight these two seniors as well, because obviously it's a tough senior year. If this is your last year in the band, and we want to highlight those students that have given so much to this organization.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, so many of our kids blend in. That's the other thing I think that, as you well know, a lot of the kids can get away with wearing the wrong socks or making the wrong turn or whatever the case may be. But these two, they're kind of out there. It's pretty easy to tell which, they can't hide. They're out there in front of everybody. When that baton leaves their hand, the expectation is that it's going to return to that hand. And so they probably have the most pressure on them of anyone in the band. A clarinet player can play the wrong note and very few people will know. A majorette drops a baton, everybody who's watching knows. So they've handled that additional pressure. And yeah, you're right, they're not going to get to do that. There's also not a lot of opportunities for baton twirlers beyond collegiate twirling. There's not bands they can twirl with for the next 20 years of their lives. So this really was their last hurrah.
Well, let's celebrate our duo of senior majorettes here with this performance. All right, folks, thanks once again for being with us for another edition of the Pride of the ACC. Jeff, we're rolling, aren't we?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing these. We're a third of the way through. We've done 4 of the 12, so let's keep the momentum going.
We'll see you again next week for another edition of the Pride of the ACC. Have a great week, everybody.